Global tensions are rising, markets are unstable, and currencies keep losing value. While governments print more money, smart investors are moving into physical gold and silver. Assets that have protected wealth for centuries. That's why more people are turning to Charlie's Gold to secure their future before the next financial shakeup hits. Don't leave your wealth exposed. Own something real. Own gold and silver. Visit charlies.gold today.
Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's the 19th of August 2026. It's interesting when you start seeing what's being exposed. Some of the stuff, when it gets exposed, when the light exposes the darkness, is quite shocking. One of the things that shocked me, I was investigating as to what happened back in 1933. Back in 1933, there was no evidence whatsoever that the Germans had a problem with the Jews, like we were told in history. The Germans didn't have a problem with the Jews at all. The Jews declared war on Germany. They declared genocide on Germany. Now, it happened that there was a gentleman by the name of Adolf Hitler who was in charge at the time, and he went, "No, I'm going to protect the German people against you." We weren't told that. He stood up for the German people because the Jews made it very clear that they wanted to genocide the Germans and not stop there. They wanted to genocide Europe so that they could control Europe. Most of the stories that we've been told about what happened from 1933 to 1945 is propaganda and BS. And the trouble is we know in history that the winners write history. Not only do the winners write history, they also control the narrative, control the media. And those days are coming to an end, where the truth is finally coming out. You don't have to take my word for it. You just have to do some proper research. But there are people out there that will look in the same place to try and find the truth. And I'll give you an example. Mainstream media. Mainstream media have lied to us non-stop for years, and you're still looking to the television for the truth. It's a bit like knowing that gold is found in water, so you look in the toilet. That's how stupid you are. I'll call it out for what it is. That's how dim you are. Because you need to wake up that if you look in a shithole, you'll find shit. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. First up, Iran is reportedly considering strikes on US military targets in Europe if the conflict with Washington escalates further. According to the Financial Times, potential targets being discussed include US-linked military assets in Cyprus and Bulgaria.
This is all part of the awakening. And Iran, a country I know well, that most Americans couldn't point out on a map, is a country full of very, very good and nice people. They're kind people, they're fun people. There's a great sense of humor that they have, and they're very beautiful. But the people that have led them, that were installed in Iran by Mossad, Israel, and the US corporation, are truly evil. And that is what Trump is dismantling. The part that is in Iran that is truly evil. Iran is a beautiful empire that has never fallen, and it won't fall because of its history and the way that it's set up. They're good people. But what is being uninstalled and dismantled is the system that was installed to destabilize them because they refused to be a part of the international banking system. Oh, and by the way, Iran is on the road to joining BRICS. It's virtually installed, and Iraq is doing the same thing. And this is literally the final nail in the coffin of the Federal Reserve, which is part of the corporation. And the dismantling of US military bases will continue. It started in the Middle East, where missiles hit military bases. It will continue in Europe to dismantle the US military bases, because if they're not dismantled, they'll be used again. That's going on right now in plain sight. So don't be scared. This is all part of the dismantling of the old system. You are living in the Third World War, but the missiles are attacking the old bases and the old system. They're not attacking the people. So I would advise you to stay well clear of any US military bases wherever you are in the world. You know, if you go to Dubai, don't go anywhere near the military bases or the embassy. That's just sound advice, common sense. My next story is very interesting because it hasn't hit the mainstream media. 6 judges, top-level judges in America, have been arrested. Many lawyers have been arrested. Nothing in mainstream media. But this is all part of the dismantling of a corrupt system. Little word of advice for the new lawyers and the new judges. You're all having to go back to college, back to school, and learn what real law is, common law, not maritime law, not your naughty little book of Black's Dictionary where you twist the words. We're going back to God's law, the law of the land. So if you want to be ahead of the game, start training in God's law, common law, because maritime law is the law of the seas, and you're not a fish. Drew.
Next up, the SEC has proposed a major new regulatory framework that could make it easier for crypto companies to issue tokens and raise money legally. The proposal includes new exemptions and a potential safe harbor from securities rules. It's not final yet, but this is one of the biggest regulatory shifts for US crypto so far.
There's so much going on in the financial world right now. I mean, there is a number of major banks that are on the verge of collapse, and we're seeing the digital world move in. I've spoken to 4 banks in the last 7 days, and they're aware of what is going on, but they're not allowed to talk about it. And when I say I've talked to banks, I've talked at director level, not at teller level. I've talked at the top to the CEOs. They know what's coming down. Most of the team haven't got a clue. There is a very, very small group of people that have been informed and educated on how this system is going to change. And the reason they're not telling people is because most of them are going to lose their jobs. So they don't want to create unnecessary panic. It's coming. It's not far away. And this is why I urge you to protect what you have. And as I said yesterday, that if you're a European, there's a 500-page document where they want to bring in a 90% wealth tax. Well, that doesn't bother me because I'm not wealthy. I've got no money. And I'm not telling them if I have. This is where common sense comes in. When you've got a corrupt organization trying to steal from you, why would you tell them? Why would you tell them anything? Be wise. Be clever. In the old days, when I grew up, and Drew knows this as well, she's not as old as me, by the way. It's not the lighting, she's not as old. But parents used to hide money under the bed. They used to hide gold under the bed. They never told anybody about it. But now we believe we have to tell them everything. That's foolish. Use common sense. I'll leave you with that thought. That was the news. On the 19th of August 2026, this evening, is the Insiders Club. This is your opportunity as an insider to ask me questions that you don't know the answer and you want to know what's going on. So if you want to know what's going on, join the Insiders Club tonight. I'll answer all of your questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find out. See you later. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
These are the facts, not put out by mainstream media. If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.